Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. I'm going to take you through one of my trades in a momentum leader, which is IONQ. Quantum computing is a very strong theme in the market right now, and IONQ, in my view, is one of the key leaders. So I'm going to teach you the setup on the daily chart, but then also how I used a 5-minute opening range breakout, so an ORB, to enter the position and some of the key characteristics to be looking for. Now, IONQ was a stock in my session plan for my members on the 29th of November, 2020. So you can see that was posted on November 28th, 2024 at 9:06 p.m. where I am in London. So let me scroll down here and then I can show you it. So IONQ, here it is. And IONQ, I'm watching for a 5-minute opening range breakout. So ORB as a buy stop limit order. I didn't fancy a 12% initial stop loss. So we'll talk about that. Sometimes I like to use a buy stop limit order. Other times I like to use an opening range breakout. So we'll talk about that as we are going through the chart. Market Surge are today's video sponsor. If you're interested in a discounted trial, then you'll find a link to that in the description and the comment section below. So to begin the video, I will talk about the daily chart, which is on the left-hand side, and some of the key characteristics that I was seeing to make this a really good setup, in my view, to be targeting an entry in IONQ for Friday, the 29th of November session. As the video progresses, I will then start talking about the 5-minute chart and teach you about the 5-minute opening range breakout and some of the key characteristics that I was looking for there in terms of the price and the volume as well. So on the daily chart, I like looking for strength. I like looking for the strongest stocks in the market. So I refer to those as true market leaders or momentum leaders, and oftentimes you can get a crossover. Now, I'm not just looking for TMLs and momentum leaders. Ideally, I want them to be in the strongest groups and or themes in the market. So quantum computing is currently a very, very strong group in the market right now. And then I'm trying to dial in, okay, quantum computing, very, very strong. What are the leaders of the group? And for me, IONQ is the current leader of the group. So what I'm then looking for is a lot of strength on the daily chart. So I think you can tell a lot about how large operators are treating a stock around its earnings. So what do I see on the earnings bar? This is the earnings reaction. It's very positive. I call this bullish synchronicity. There's a synchronicity between this very widespread candlestick and look at the very high relative volume coming through. The candlestick itself opens on the low, closes very strong. This is signaling a lot of demand to me. And then the next day you get follow through buying. Look at this. The next day it's also pushing up. Note the volume. You also get back-to-back 52-week highs on my relative strength line. Free tool on TradingView, search my name in the indicators, you'll find I like 52-week highs. Means it's showing a lot of leadership in this instance versus the S&P 500. It pushes up, pulls into the 10-day EMA in the black line that you see here. Nice big shakeout, pushes up again, pulls in. Then you get this really nice shakeout, and I was targeting an intraday entry I was talking about on my platform, which is really nice down there as well, and then adding to the position. But here you see this big shakeout underneath the 10-day EMA. So if you followed the channel for a little while now, you'll know about trigger bars, shakeout demand tails, and gap down reversal bars. And I'm looking for those type of candlesticks around the 10-day EMA, the 21-day EMA, or the 50-day simple period moving average in most instances. So on the prior session, you get this really nice shakeout demand tail. So I'm then looking at this thinking, okay, I want to target this shakeout demand tail, leading stock, setting up as per my criteria. One of the issues here was if I was to do a buy stop limit order, targeting it through the high, stop loss underneath the low, as I mentioned in the session plan, okay, if I'm doing that, I've got like a 12.5% before you get any slippage initial stop loss. That's way out of whack. Even though the 20-day ADR percentage is 15%, this is just too big. I like to keep it in single digits and ideally low to mid single digits when I'm targeting my entries, even if it's got an ADR of 15%. That means the average daily range percentage of the stock, excluding gaps, over the last 20 days is 15%. This is a very, very quick stock. This is a momentum leader stock, okay? So I didn't want to go in with a buy stop limit order and initial stop loss of 12.5%. Like, the risk versus reward is all out of whack. The stock's got to go up 25% before it even gets to 2 to 1, okay? Risk to reward. I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I use a different order entry method technique. So the setup is the same. I'm just tweaking based upon how the action of the stock has unfolded my order entry method technique. Okay, so in this instance, I'm going to target the 5-minute opening range breakout. So what you can see here, you can see the action of this bar here. See this? This is the 29th of November session. This is how it unfolded here, okay? But this is the 5-minute chart for that session. So you see this daily candlestick here on the left? This is the 5-minute session unfolding. So these 5-minute bars make up this daily candlestick. So I want you to be clear in terms of understanding that. So my entry is at 34.09. So I'm targeting the 5-minute opening range breakout through this level, and then my stop loss is low of the day, so LOD by a single cent down here, which is 31.95, just underneath the round number of $32 as well, kind of tying in with that. Okay, so the entry is on this bar here, right here at 34.09. My stop loss is then placed here. Now I use a buy stop order with the stop loss attached to then enter this. So I'm watching IONQ. Okay, I'm getting ready in terms of my brokerage account. Okay, I'm looking at it. I'm going, okay, how do I want to target this? Do I just want to do a market order and stare at it, or actually do I want to set a buy stop order and then target it through the high there of that bar? So you get a couple cent slippage. The actual high of the bar there is 34.07. So I got 2 cent slippage, which is kind of okay. It's a relatively liquid stock, this one. It's kind of moving and spreads are pretty tight, and then I'm attaching a stop loss order to that low of the day by a single cent at 31.95. so that there is kind of the method in terms of the way I'm setting it up. Now I may have not targeted the 5-minute opening range breakout. It depended how the action unfolded. So the pivot for me, which is the buy area where I'm looking for it, is 32.07. now that is the high of the previous session, being this shakeout demand tail. Okay, you see this shakeout demand tail, 32.07, sorry, $32.37. That's my dyslexia mixing things up there. Okay, $32.37. That's the high of the previous day. That there is the pivot for me. That there is the point where I'm looking for really strong action if I'm going to target this 5-minute ORB. So what do I see in the first 5 minutes? I see again what I call bullish synchronicity. So like we were talking about here on the earnings, okay, widespread candlestick, opens in the low, the bar closes strong, good volume coming through. There is a bullish synchronicity between the positive price action and the high relative volume. Now bullish synchronicity is applicable across all time frames. So we're seeing it there on the daily chart in terms of the earnings reaction. We're seeing it here in the first 5 minutes. See this bar? Opens pretty much on the low of the bar, pushes up strong through the area, okay, strong through the prior session's high. That's the pivot for me. That's where I'm looking for the strength for the buying. So it opens near the low, closes pretty strong. This bar looks pretty much a carbon copy of the earnings bar, does it not? It's got a little bit more of a shakeout demand tail, maybe a little bit more of a supply shoot, but this bar here is very, very similar to this bar here. Now, what did I say about the earnings? It's signaling that there's a lot of demand on this bar here. It's signaling here on the 5-minute chart, there's a lot of demand here. There's a lot of eyeballs. There's a lot of other market participants willing to buy this. Okay, I'm seeing the strength. It's also being confirmed by the higher volume. So when I'm targeting an opening range breakout, whether that's the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, or the 30-minute chart, okay, which one I use is subject to how the action unfolds and how the kind of the potential risk versus reward in the moment as well. But what I'm looking for is a lot of strength, a lot of buying, and volume confirming it as well. So I'm taking the entry through the high, stop loss underneath, the low of the day like that. And then what's really good with IONQ is it continues to power up, and note the sustained high volume above the 30-bar average being this black line here on the volume, okay, on the 5-minute chart. See this? This is the average. Note the persistently and sustained high volume. There's a lot of eyeballs on this one. Okay, really, really nice in terms of this initial action there. So I won't make this video uber duper long. The initial stop loss is about 6.25%, which is under half the 20-day ADR percentage of 15.06%. So with ORBs, ideally I like to keep it half to 2/3. If it's even less, even better. But half to 2/3 as a metric there. So that's why you want to be aware of, okay, 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, thinking about the risk, thinking about the action that you're seeing as well. So for me, when I'm taking this ORB, I'm looking for strength. I want to see a lot of buying. I want to see a lot of other market participants willing to get in there. I want to see that momentum coming into the stock, the strength coming into the into the stock. So hopefully that video there is useful in terms of thinking about both the daily chart and characteristics you want to see on the daily chart in terms of a lot of leadership, a real powerful stock in the market, thinking about earnings reactions, thinking about shakeouts around certain daily moving averages as well. And sometimes the risk just doesn't make sense if you're targeting it using, say, a buy stop limit order through the high, stop underneath the low, and you have to be a little bit more creative in terms of your order entry method technique, such as this instance here with IONQ using the 5-minute opening range breakout. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed that video. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and as always, I look forward to seeing you in a future video.